HCTV Sports is supported by Merchants Bank. Merchants Bank is committed to supporting the families and businesses at the heart of their communities. Merchants Bank, let's dream together.
Making the play. He gets the pin. Raiders are clawing their way back in this game.
Just snipes one.
It's ball game. Over. Save. Oh my God! Did you see that? Great diving play. He's hit a touchdown. Hastings Raiders win the ball game.
Welcome to Tot Field and McNamara Stadium on a beautiful Friday night in Hastings. It's Tackle Cancer Night, it's Parents Night, it's 1974 Honors Night for the Hastings Raiders as they take on the Armstrong Falcons with a record of 5-0. Jerry Rupp is with me in the broadcast booth. I'm Trey Lauer. We're from KDWA Radio bringing you the coverage on both radio and TV here tonight, and the Raiders come into tonight's game on a 3-game win streak. Armstrong comes in on a 5-game win streak. Somebody's going to suffer a loss in that streak here tonight. Hastings gets here after an 0-2 start, goes on the road and beats Matamidi, handles Bloomington Jefferson at homecoming, and then escapes Cretin-Durham Hall last week. And that's a Cretin-Durham Hall team, Jerry, that took Armstrong to the brink. And if our reports are true, Armstrong needed an interception return for a touchdown to seal the deal in that one.
You know, we've said this for years. That's why you play the game. It's high school sports. You know, high school sports, on any given night, anything can happen. So it doesn't matter what their records are, respectively, coming in here. It's about kids. It's about enthusiasm. Things are contagious. And, you go out there, and every night's a different night. You never know what you're going to get. And, for the Raiders, I've watched them through the weeks. They had a ton of mistakes against Owatonna. They got a little bit better. They still made a bunch of mistakes at Two Rivers. But then when they got it rolling against Matamidi, Jefferson, and Cretin, they minimized their mistakes, and that's what you need to do. So a team like Armstrong, who's such a powerhouse running and throwing, you need to not make mistakes and give them opportunities.
Well, and you look at those first two games on the schedule, Owatonna and Two Rivers are both undefeated football teams right now at 5-0. So they are definitely teams to be reckoned with this year, and who knows, maybe we'll get a rematch with Two Rivers in sections. We'll see how the rest of the season plays out. The next couple weeks are going to be huge for the Raiders too, because if you happen to win this game tonight, you get St. Thomas Academy here 6 days from now, a team that's not scoring a ton of points, but as we mentioned on the radio broadcast side, Raiders have to focus on tonight and can't look ahead to that big game next week.
Exactly. It's one game at a time. That's a danger with a lot of programs, as they look past one team to get to the next one. And regardless, you're going to have a tough night tonight. You have a tough night against St. Thomas, because St. Thomas always plays Hastings very tough. And so you just got to focus on every single game. Just make the plays, and like I said before, let your teammates do their job, you do your job, trust in one another, and things will usually work out on the positive side.
Yeah, and Robbinsdale Armstrong handled their first two opponents, St. Francis and Harding Humboldt, and then Robbinsdale Cooper in their crosstown rivalry. They won as well. Look at those last two games. 6-point wins over Cretin-Durham Hall and St. Thomas Academy, teams that the Raiders will also face. They'll also see Robbinsdale Cooper in 2 weeks. They get Matamidi next week, who the Raiders beat on the road.
Right, and I think, it's quite frankly, Matamidi won't be a whole lot of a challenge, I think, for Armstrong. Now, when we played Matamidi, Matamidi had 100 yards in penalties. So you think about that, 100 yards in penalties, not only is that a huge number, but they were cracking off huge runs, and they get called for holding and come back. So it made a big difference in that game. But here we are tonight. We're getting ready for the kickoff. Raiders will kick off. They're moving left to right on the radio dial, and we are excited for a good football game.
The hero from last week, Johan Rova-Hegner, has it teed up. And the Falcons of Armstrong will receive, and we are underway on a big night in Hastings. And the Falcons will take it from the 6-yard line, across the 5 to the 10 to the 20-yard line on the far sideline, gets a block out near the 25, and wrestling out past the 30, somehow staying up, is Lucas Wadke, number 11.
Went from football to a rugby scrum there when they're all kind of piled up in there. He looked like he was going to go out of bounds about the 27-yard line, but he got an extra 5 yards there with just the scrum and the pile getting pushed forward. We've talked about this before in earlier weeks, too. When the tackling has to be sure, and you have to hit from the hips down. That's where you bring men down. You can't tackle up at the shoulder pads because they got people behind them pushing them. They got their own strong legs working. Take their feet out. They can't go anywhere if their feet aren't moving.
Dawson Frank is the quarterback for Armstrong. He's 35 of 57 on the year for 435 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks. So a very accurate passer for the Falcons of Armstrong. And on first down, they hand it off to their superstar running back, Johnson, who right away crosses the 40, crosses midfield, 45-40, breaks a tackle inside the 40, stays up 35-30, and down inside the 25 to the 22-yard line for a big Armstrong first down. If you're with us for our pregame on radio, we talked about that. He gets yards in chunks.
Yeah, Kevin Johnson, man, like I said, he's got 15 touchdowns on the year. He's second in the state on touchdowns. He is averaging 9.9 yards per carry. There he got 50 yards.
Yeah.
So, he's a tough back, and he gets out there. He has that burst of speed that we've seen on other backs, too. The Raiders have to, number one, get contained on the inside. Keep him between the tackles. Don't let him get outside because he is so dangerous.
That carry right there put him over 1,000 yards on the season, by the way.
Goodness.
We have an injury on the field. We'll step aside on radio, and we'll be right back. Injured Raider is Carter Herman O'Brien. He's being helped off the field here after going down on that opening play, and just an unfortunate sight to see here. We certainly hope he's all right.
Yeah, he's definitely favoring that left leg. Right now he's not putting any weight on it at all. He's getting assists from the trainers out there. So, we'll see what that lower leg injury is. I mean, at this point, it doesn't look like he's pretty doubtful for return, but you never know.
Yeah, so Raiders will have to get next man up on that one there, as Armstrong will line up in the shotgun on 1st and 10 from the Raider 21-yard line. Johnson is in the backfield with Frank on this first down. Last year we saw Armstrong in the shotgun almost the whole game. Frank's going to hand it off to Johnson, finds the hole again, veers to the outside of the 20, 15, breaks a tackle inside the 5 and gets to the 4, maybe the 3 on the far sideline. And it'll be 1st and goal just like that for Armstrong.
Well, that's classic football adage. You run a play until they find a way to stop it. And that's just exactly what they're going to do, just keep pounding that play until Raiders can get an answer for it. Once again, it was right between the guard and tackle. It was a huge hole that was opened up there. And, you can drive a Mack truck through that thing.
So 1st and goal from the 3 for the Falcons. And again, Frank in the shotgun. Johnson off to the right. And 2 wides, 1 to each side of the formation. Here's the snap for Frank. Hands off to Johnson toward the near side. Breaks a tackle, breaks 2 tackles, and is into the end zone for a touchdown. 3 plays. And Robbinsdale Armstrong is on the board here at Todd Field.
Well, that's what you're going to be up for tonight. And the Raiders kind of knew they're going to be a tough task, with Johnson. He is just such a great runner. So the first couple plays, they went off towards the right off that tackle, and this time they did the counter trap towards the left, and just, again, a huge hole. He was hit at the 3-yard line, but he's got the leg strength. He just drove right into the end zone.
Luke Weissjohn is on for the point after touchdown. Snap is good, hold is good, and so is the kick. And Robbinsdale Armstrong goes 3 plays and takes a 7-0 lead over Hastings. We'll be back on KDWA. Robbinsdale Armstrong 7, Hastings nothing, not even 40 seconds into the game yet. That's certainly not the start you wanted if you're the Raider defense trying to contain this 1,000-yard back in Johnson.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tough job to do, a tall order for the defense tonight. Now, more importantly, we'll see how the offense responds. I mean, if you get in a quick scoring like that, you want to think, okay, we need to get into a slugfest here and kind of attract me to answer to them each time and hopefully your defense makes some adjustments, figure some things out on the defensive line. But here we go with kick return for the Raiders.
And this is a Raider offense that's only gotten better as the season's gone along too. Obviously, overtime last week, but 35 points in the win against Cretin-Durham Hall. And they're going to do a trick onside kick here, and I think Armstrong may have gotten on top of it. There's a scramble for the football. The Falcons are signaling as if they have it.
Pellinger was in there, I believe. I think he...
And it's Pellinger on the recovery for the Raiders.
There we go. That's good job for Raiders. Pellinger was in there. Actually, it was Hunter Hoff that got that recovery. So Pellinger was right next to him fighting for it, but Hunter Hoff came up with the ball. So good job, Hunter.
And the Raiders dodge a huge bullet there as, boy, if Armstrong had recovered that.
Kudos to the special teams coach because our guys were lining up way up on the alignment for the kickoff. They knew something was up, so they must have seen something that Armstrong had done before. And this is great because it's a great field position for starting for the Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders have the ball on the 48-yard line, and that's where Lucas Foss will line up under center here. Everybody bunched up on the line except for Shattuck, the running back. And they'll give it to Shattuck on first down. He'll break a couple tackles, get across the 50 to the Robbinsdale 48-yard line. So about 4 yards on first down.
And that's what we have to do. The Raiders just have to, settle down, be calm, and just do your jobs, know your assignments, blocking schemes up front, and let Shattuck do his thing because Shattuck can really make things happen out there as well. We talked about that. He has a second gear, third gear he kicks into that he can run away from people. So just let him do his thing. Make a hole and let him go.
Hastings went to an under center look a few weeks ago, and it really has paid off for them offensively here as they once again will motion everybody around. 3 wides move to one side and 1 to the other. Shattuck in the backfield behind Foss. They'll give it off, and this time loses all the yards he gained and then a couple more as Armstrong was ready for that. Got right into the backfield, and Shattuck may have even ran into his own player.
Oh, man, that was a fire sale. I'm telling you, Armstrong, it's like let's meet at the running back out there in the backfield. We just had they must have had a stunt on there that, fooled our Raiders offensive lineman, but there were 3 guys on him as soon as he got the handoff.
So it's 3rd and 11 now for the Raiders. You would think this would be a passing situation. Foss will line up under center with 2 wides, now 3 wides to the near side and 1 to the left. I say wide, but everybody's bunched up on the line. Wide receivers, if you will. Now they'll motion a man out. That's Birkin. Foss looks back to throw pressure off the edge. It's going to be tipped and caught by a Raider out near the 45 and close to the marker. Jerry, I don't know. I might go for this. It's right near the marker.
I agree with you at this point. Marlo Strain came up with that ball. That was a tip ball, and Marlo did a good job of getting his hands on it and getting 10 yards out of the thing. But you're right. At this point, you got to go because as dynamic as that offense is for Armstrong, you got to keep them off the field. And what the heck? Why not? Let's go.
Yes, make a statement early in the game here. And Marlo Strain obviously has been big for the Raiders this year. Matt Foss had 2 huge catches for the Raiders against Cretin-Durham Hall last week. He's going to be a factor in this one tonight as well. He motions out to the left side of the formation with Lucas Foss, his brother, under center. Foss hands it off to Shattuck, breaks a tackle, has the first down, 40, out near the 35 to about the 36. And that is where Zach Shattuck, nicknamed Shady, will be dropped for first down to move the chains.
That worked well for the Raiders. Now, Armstrong was going to shoot a linebacker and a linebacker blitz there on the right side of the line. Fortunately, our Raiders saw it, and the offensive lineman picked it up. Shattuck just found his spot, kind of picked a hole there, and got squirted through there for that very crucial first down.
Hastings went on a 9-minute opening drive against Cretin-Durham Hall last week, so ball control has been very important for this team over the last couple of weeks. Birkin will motion out. They're going to hand it off again to Shattuck. Shattuck makes 1 defender miss and then gains a yard to the right hash at about the 35-yard line. Armstrong
is not only big, but they're fast too, and so those holes close very quickly, and the Raiders are really have to do a good job on sticking with their man and trying to create a hole so Shattuck can get through there.
Gain of a yard on that play, so it'll be 2nd down and 9. Foss gets the play from offensive coordinator Jason Cook, comes back to the huddle. For those listening on radio, Raiders are in all blue tonight. Blue jerseys, blue pants with the gold helmets. Armstrong is all white, helmets, jerseys, and pants with red trim and red numbers. Foss under center. Shattuck the back. Foss will fake the handoff to Shattuck. He'll look to throw. It's going to be tipped and incomplete. Looking for Marlo Strain between the hashes at about the 25.
My goodness, Foss missed it. Matt Foss was down the field in the middle, and there was no one around him for 10 yards. That would have been an easy score had he seen him. But, he's kind of I think a lot of times those are design plays where they don't really look for that secondary, third receiver because you don't have time. You have a guy in mind you want to go to. Just unfortunately was the wrong guy for that time.
So 3rd and 9 from the 35 for the Raiders. That's Matt Foss on the near side. And 3 wides to the left. Expect them to go in motion again here, perhaps. Shattuck the setback in the backfield with Foss under center. Foss will take the snap. Pressure off the edge. He'll throw. It's going to be caught. Matt Foss inside the 25. Should be close, if not a first down for the Raiders. And Hastings will keep the offense on the field no matter what here.
Yeah, definitely nice job by Matt. He knew he was going to take a lick, and he sure did take a lick. But he hung on to that ball, and he got enough for a first down. See, that's the thing, too, with the receiver. You need to know how far down the field you need to get to the first down stripe. Sometimes guys only go like 5-6 yards when they need 8. He did a good job of getting down to the first down marker and then come back for the ball and make a great catch.
So 1st and 10 from the 25. They'll have trips to the near side, 1 to the left. Shattuck in the backfield. Now they'll motion 2 receivers and now the 3rd. So all 4 receivers on the left side of the formation as they stack the box. Do the Falcons. Foss hands it off to Shattuck. Cuts toward the left. Tries to make a defender miss. Gets to about the 22-yard line on the play. It'll be 2nd down and about 7, 6?
Looks about that, yeah, 7. In that play there, Shady needs to trust his instincts because there was only one man to beat on the outside of the line there, and it looked like it was closed off, but he has that gear that he can run away from guys. So, I think as he starts to trust his instincts more and say, there's one guy to beat, let's try it, go for it, rather than turning up inside where the rest of the Armstrong defense is waiting for him.
This is exactly, I think, Jerry, what Hastings wanted to was keep the ball out of Armstrong's hands. Obviously, Armstrong got the ball first, though, and scored. So Hastings playing from behind here, 7-0. With trips to the left, 1 to the right. Shattuck the setback. They fake the handoff. Foss rolls off to the right. He's got a receiver near side 20. Makes a defender miss. Takes a shot that lunges him forward to about the 12-yard line for Grant Birkin. And that'll be close to a first down for the Raiders.
I'm telling you, the contributions that Birkin has made this year has just been immeasurable. He's made clutch catches when we need it. And once again, he had that nice, off to the flats there on the right side, caught, pitch and catch and just got the extra yards. You're right, he got bumped into first down. But, again, he took a shot too in the back. But, the Raiders are tough and they're getting first downs, and that's what we do, just keep moving the football.
Birkin was big on the road at O'Shaughnessy Stadium last Friday in the win against Cretin-Durham Hall. From a contribution standpoint, all 4 receivers motion from left to right of the formation. Raiders attacking left to right. Foss tossed out of the backfield to Shattuck. Gets a block and gets near the 10-yard line. So a couple of yards gained on that first down toss to Zach Shattuck.
That's what we need, first down or, yardage on first down. Spot wasn't that great. I thought he had made the 10-yard line, but they spotted him down at the 12. There was a huge hole in the middle, but it closed awfully quickly. Again, they're linebackers. They're second level there. They close very quickly, and so it's a matter of speed right now. You have to hit that hole while it's there because it closes fast.
2nd and 9. They only gave Shattuck a yard on that play. I agree with you. I don't like the spot there, but 2nd down and 9. Foss under center will motion Birkin and Vickney to the left of the formation alongside Marlo Strain. Toss out of the backfield to Shattuck again. Shattuck has a lane, breaks a tackle, and then wrestled down near the 10. Thought he was going to break that tackle, but Armstrong got him by the jersey and dragged him down at the 10-yard line for a short gain. Looked like it was number 5 for Armstrong.
It was number 8, Jackson Wiley, had him by the shirt tail there. Had he not held on for dear life, I think he could have gone all the way. That was it was so close to breaking that thing. But, so we got a couple yards there. Again, it's a 3rd down situation, 3rd and 7, but the Raiders have converted in the last couple of 3rd down situations, and we'll see what we can get out of this one.
They've got Vickney and Matt Foss lined up deep to the near side. Strain out to the left. Birkin the tight end. Shattuck in the backfield behind Foss under center. They'll hand it off to Shattuck. Trying to spin free, and he does break one tackle but can't get the second and gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage. And now it's decision time. Do you go for it or do you trot your kicker out there?
If it were me, I'd take the points. Because it's 4th down and 10, that's a long way to go. Your field's been shortened, so you don't have really a lot of passing routes there. They're going to go for it. So that's kind of Coach Strain's MO is to go for this, and, at this point, horse apiece. We'll see how it turns out.
4th and 10. This drive has been almost 8 minutes in length, so the same way that they started the Cretin-Durham Hall game, but can they punch it in like they did last week in St. Paul? Foss under center on 4th and 10. Same formation as the play before. 2 to the near, 1 to the far. Foss looks to throw a fade route into the end zone. Receiver didn't see it. It's incomplete. It's a turnover on downs.
Yep, Marlo Strain was the intended receiver. He was trying to do just a little slant towards the inside of towards the goalpost, but he had his head down. He was double covered and easy for you to say, and he never saw the ball coming. It was basically almost bounced off his helmet.
I like the play call though. Take a fade route, take a shot to the end zone on 4th down. You don't just go for the first down, you go for it all. And unfortunately for the Raiders, it didn't end up the way they wanted it to, but they have Armstrong pinned back deep on their 13 for the Falcons' second possession of the game. Armstrong leading 7-0 after a 3-play opening series that saw all Kevin Johnson runs. And they'll hand it off this time. Frank will keep it. He's got it to the 20, 25, 30. And just shy of the 30-yard line, it's Dawson Frank on the carry, and looked like Luke Kendall dragged him down for the Raiders.
Yeah, Frank he's a tough runner as well. You know, he's 326 yards so far in the season, so you know he can definitely run that ball, and it shows. We're keying now on Johnson, but Frank, you got to watch out for him too.
So 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line for Armstrong, leading 7-0 with 3.5 to play here in the opening quarter. Split running backs, it's going to be an RPO. Frank will roll off. He's under all sorts of pressure. Hit as he throws, and the receiver can't make the catch near the 38-yard line. Excellent penetration by Barrett Boardman to get into the backfield and have Frank under duress trying to throw that football.
Oh, I'm telling you, Boardman this year, he's just been wreaking havoc all over the place in the backfield. He's been such a great defensive ad for these guys this year. And that's the thing. When you make Frank run out like that, he's got to try to make throws on the run, and not a lot of high school kids can do that. And he just, quite frankly, missed his guy completely.
So 2nd and 10 from the 28-yard line for Armstrong. Frank's going to hand it off to Johnson. Johnson tries to follow his block, and the block doesn't work so well, and Johnson gets maybe a yard on the play, and it's going to be 3rd down for Armstrong.
Tell you, the guy who made that play right there for the Raiders is Braden Thompson, number 13. He was all over that. He just refused to let go, and he hung on, got a little help there. 3rd and 10. That's great for the Raiders. That's what we need to see. More stops like that.
So 3rd and long upcoming. The Falcons will have 2 wides to the near side, 2 to the far. Johnson the setback to the left of the quarterback, Frank, who looks around the formation, maybe changing the play a little bit. With the cadence, takes the snap. It's a 2-step drop. He's under pressure. He takes off the run with it versus Barrett Boardman, and Boardman will bring him down a couple yards shy of the marker, and we'll see if the Falcons will punt here.
Nice job containing him. He did get out there and got a little bit of a scramble, got a couple extra yards, but 4th and 1. That's a great defense so far, the Raiders. It looks like they're going to go because they're feeling pretty confident about where they are and not worried about field position. They feel they have the strength that they can punch a yard.
He gave him 9 on that play. I thought it was
he had a second effort at the very end that got him a couple extra yards, yeah.
4th and 1, they motion a receiver into the backfield. Now back to his spot in the formation with 2 wides to the near side, 1 to the right, and a tight end on the left side of the formation on the near side. Johnson the setback with Frank in the shotgun on this 4th and 1. Frank will keep it himself. He's got the 1st down, crosses the 40, suplexed at about the 43 on the far hash, but it does move the chains for Armstrong.
Yeah, Kyan Esterby on that one made the tackle, but not before their quarterback had gotten about 5-6 yards. So they get a fresh set of downs. Raiders are still doing a lot better defense than that first series when they just got run over.
So ball on the 42, 1st and 10, approaching 90 seconds to go here in this opening quarter already. Hastings down 7-0 to Armstrong. Raiders drop 2 into coverage. Frank will throw. It's complete along the sideline. Couple of Raiders, including Boardman, will wrap him up. And there is a flag down at about the 44-yard line. So we'll check the marker on that one, but that was a gain of about 7 on the completion.
Let's see what we'll see what the 2 officials over there having a little talk, and we'll see what they call here.
Hastings has been a rather disciplined team this year. Going to be on the Falcons. Yep. Looks like ineligible man downfield, so you have to think maybe he stepped out of bounds and then made the completion, or a lineman blocking too far down the field, one of those two. Yeah,
usually it's a lineman that gets too far downfield. You have that little window where you can stay within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage, and he definitely got past that. So, a little setback for Armstrong there. They lost 5 yards on that.
So 1st and 15 from the 37-yard line. Frank will fake the handoff. He'll roll off to the left. Here's some pressure. He gets it off at about the 42, right back to the original line of scrimmage. The defender will spin free, take a shot. That sends him over to about the 45-yard line. That's Lucas Wadke, number 11, on the catch for the Falcons.
Once again, Esterby out there on an island, by himself. The throw was out to the flats. It was just he versus the Armstrong offensive player, and that's a tough spot to be when you're all by yourself in open space. They can juke you and drive you, but he held his ground and made that tackle.
Closing in on the last minute of this first quarter, under a minute left in the quarter. 2nd down and 7 for the Falcons from the Falcon 45. Frank in the shotgun with trips to the right. They'll give it to Johnson on a toss. Johnson will turn the corner. He's got the 50. He's got the first down to about the 48, maybe the 47 on the far side of the field. But it's a first down nonetheless for Armstrong.
Landon Johnson in on the stop there, number 80 for the Raiders. And again, we talked about that earlier. You cannot tackle a guy like that at the shoulder pads. And this is exactly what they did. They grabbed him on the shoulder pads and tried to bulldog him down. You can't do that. You've got to get underneath, get his legs, get his hips, take him down by the feet so he cannot keep his wheel running.
Frank in the shotgun for Armstrong. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Johnson the setback. This might be the last play of the first quarter. And we'll see if they even get a play off here in the end of this first quarter. Clock under 5 seconds to go. They'll motion a man out. It's a high snap. Ball is loose. It's picked up by Johnson. Johnson will take it across the 40. Boy, that could have been a big loss. Could have been a turnover. It turns into an 8-yard gain for Robbinsdale Armstrong. And that's how the first quarter will end. Those on radio, we'll talk about it when we come back here on KDWA.
He gets the pin. What a move, what a goal! Oh, what a shot, scores! The Raiders, can they get the lift? Yes, they do.
Just snipes one.
Oh my God! And reaching up and making the play. It's moving! Over!
Looking to throw, and she's going to get the first down.
One! Touchdown Raiders!
Todd Field, McNamara Stadium on a beautiful 55-degree Friday night for high school football. Finally feels like football weather. Hastings Raiders are trying to keep Armstrong out of the end zone for a second time, and that last play there at the end of the first quarter had a chance to be a big break for the Raiders one way or another, and it ends up being a 7-yard gain, and it's 2nd and 3. So trips to the left, 1 to the right. Frank in the shotgun with Johnson the setback. Frank, all kinds of time to throw. He will throw, and a great defensive play to knock the ball free. Incomplete. Ashton Arns on the coverage for the Raiders.
Huge play. He gave him enough space, but he closed on the ball so quickly. That was awesome the way he closed on that ball and knocked it away right at the time that the receiver is supposed to catch the ball. Timing is everything when you're a defensive back. You hit too soon, you get a pass interference. But that was a great play, knocking the ball away.
So it will be 2nd down and 3 here for Armstrong. Frank in the shotgun. Will hand it off to Johnson. No, Frank will keep it himself, and he doesn't gain much of anything.
Man, that was a great play there. Bellinger, he lost his helmet there. He lost his melon, but he's pretty excited about that. They made a great play. They made the read correctly. They didn't bite on the handoff, the potential handoff. Now, Bellinger has to come out for one play because he lost his helmet, but so he's a little upset about that, but he made a heck of a play in there to take him for a loss. Now it's 4th down, so 4th down and a long 5.
Yeah, that was 3rd down. So 4th and 5 coming up here from the 42. We are in the second quarter with 11:30 to go. And a big chance here for the Raiders to get a big stop. Down 7 early in the second. Frank changing the play. Has Johnson lined up to his left. Now has a motion man to the left side of the formation. That's trips. They fake it to Johnson. Frank's going to roll out to throw. pressure, and he's going to be knocked away, incomplete. Another great defensive play was that Landon Johnson on the coverage for the Raiders, number 80. Boy, he almost threaded the needle and got it in there to the receiver. Would have been a touchdown, but Landon Johnson with a great defensive play.
Boy, he sniffed that thing out. He was just sitting back there. He was baiting the quarterback. Frank was looking for that deep man of the two over there on the sidelines. He was just baiting him, going, he's open, he's open. Oh, no, he's not. Johnson stepped in there, swatted that ball away. Raiders take over and downs. A good field position now. They're on their own 41-yard line, but that was a huge stop. That's exactly what the defense needed.
And I tell you what, Frank did get hit as he threw the football as well. So multiple Raiders making great defensive plays on that one to prevent the drive from continuing for Armstrong. Foss now under center. All four receivers will motion from right to left as they've changed directions here. Foss will hand it off to Shattuck. He gets back to maybe the line of scrimmage, probably more likely a loss of a yard there between the hashes.
Yeah, that inside move there, that's getting awful tough because those linemen are so quick and they shoot the gaps and they basically shut down that thing. They should start thinking about trying to get outside a little bit more, because, again, we talked about Shattuck and the speed that he has. Fake that inside, get outside, maybe a jet sweep or a pitch toss out there to get outside and use that field position.
2nd and 11, everybody bunched up on the line with Foss under center, Shattuck in the backfield. Foss will motion Birkin out, and now he's going to hand it off to Shattuck, who breaks a tackle and gets 2 or 3 yards, actually maybe less than that, but gains 1 or 2 past the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and long. Yeah,
that was a tough play there, too. It looked like he had a chance for a second there, but, the Armstrong linebackers closed so quickly. They've got so much quickness there that what looks like a hole all of a sudden just caves in.
So 3rd and 9. Clock approaching 10 minutes to go in the first half. Only a 7-0 game right now. Armstrong with a 3-play scoring drive, then 2 long drives for each team, but neither one able to capitalize. Foss under center now. Shattuck in the backfield. Foss under all sorts of pressure, gets rid of it, has it off to Shattuck, breaks a tackle, crosses the 50, gets the first down out near the 45 between the hashes. Boy, Lucas Foss was under all sorts of duress and a heads-up job to get rid of it to Shattuck, and Shattuck did the rest.
Perfect screenplay. You take advantage, utilize the advantage of the quickness of Armstrong. They're over pursuing. They're coming in so hot that they just pinned their ears back and went after Foss, thinking, ooh, there's a quarterback for a sack. And he just tossed it right over their head and got a great pitch there to Shattuck and watched him go up there for the first down.
So 1st and 10. Foss under center once again. Everybody up on the line. The only 11th player that isn't is Shattuck. They'll toss it to him out of the backfield, and that's going to be sent to Cannon Falls. Big loss on that play.
Yep, that was a tough one there. Armstrong was all over it. Their outside linebacker shot through. There was no one to take him, and he got Shattuck before he even had the ball almost.
So 2nd down. If you're the Raiders, I think you want to try to avoid this positive play, minus play kind of pattern we've got going here a little bit.
Yeah, you can't take the 2 steps forward, 1 step back routine. We got to keep moving forward on each play.
That was a 5-yard loss on that play. So 2nd and 15, they'll send Vickney, and they will send Strain out wide to the right with Shattuck in the backfield. Now they'll motion Strain back over into the formation. Foss is going to hand it off to Shattuck, and again, Shattuck is going to go backwards. Just no running room for Shattuck right now. And it's going to be 3rd and Rosemount for the Raiders.
Yeah, exactly. That's another play where just their quickness and the pursuit of Armstrong was just right there. We couldn't get our blocks established, and Shattuck just couldn't get a spot to go. Now you're looking at 3rd and about $1 million here.
Yeah.
Well, we got 3rd and 17, I believe. So so they're going to have to throw it somewhere, and obviously, Armstrong knows that, so they're going to pin their ears back and come after Foss. So hope we can get some protection, give him a little chance to throw. Hope Foss steps in and makes the throw, stepping into it and finds a target. And you got Strain on one side over there. You've got Matt Foss on the other side. There's 2 opportunities.
Yeah, they need the 36 for a first down of Armstrong. They're going to go with a fade route down the field. The throw was there, but it was a little bit in front of the receiver. I don't know if the wrong route was ran, if there was interference there, but it's 4th down nonetheless.
What I saw on that play there is that Lucas threw it just a little too early. He had a little bit more time. He's got to stand in there and almost take that hit because he threw it just a little too early, and Strain wasn't quite there yet. He was tied up with the defensive back, and was it PI? Was it not? Probably not. There was kind of jostling back and forth, but Strain just wasn't there yet. So you got to wait on that ball just a little bit longer.
So 4th and 16 from the 48-yard line. Raiders will punt the football. It's going to be Adam Schmaltz to do the punting from the 35. Schmaltz will get it off. It's
nice.
a great punt. Bounces inside the 15, rolls to about the 12, rolls inside the 10 to about the 9 on the far hash. An excellent punt by Adam Schmaltz. And that's where the Falcons will take over.
Yeah, kind of interesting there. Sorry, I stepped on you
that's
there.
Okay.
But, it's interesting that Armstrong had no one back. So you leads you to believe, okay, is it an all-out block or just the arrogance that we don't need anybody back there because we can just run it up your gut anyway. So I find that very interesting that they had no one back there, but it's great for the Raiders. They got a nice ball roll there, and so now Armstrong has to take over in their own 9-yard line. They got a ways to go.
Raiders with a big 4th down stop on their last possession defensively. Trying to get another big stop here with Armstrong up 7-0 with 7:38 to go in the second quarter. Franck. Designed QB run, crosses the 15 to the 20, or about the 20 on the far hash. Gets rocketed down to the turf at about the 19.
Nice design run, like you said. It was just kind of, he turned to his left to pretend like he's going to do the handoff, and then just quarterback draw right up the middle there, and he had enough blocking that he got the extra 10 yards.
They give him the 20, so it is a first down for Armstrong. Franck will have a shotgun look with Johnson to the left. He'll have one wide to each side in a split back look, actually. Now they'll motion a man to the left side of the formation. Franck will hand it off to Kevon Johnson. Johnson, with that elusive speed, gets out between the hashes to the 27, maybe the 28-yard line. And you just see how hard he is to bring down.
Well, on the right side of the line there, their right guard, Luke Pappas, he's a big senior, and Johnson loves to run behind him. He trusts him. He knows he's going to open up a big hole for him, and that's exactly what he did. And he just, every time on those big plays, he's going right behind Pappas.
2nd and 2 from the 28. Franck again motions a man out to the left. Johnson the setback. They give it to Johnson again up the middle, crosses the 30, out to about the 33, maybe the 34 between the hashes.
That's the kind of play that you want to see the Raiders doing. Sure, they're getting yardage, Armstrong's getting yardage, but you're slowing them down. You're not giving 8, 9 yards at a pop. You're getting 2, 3 yards at a pop. You do that and play your averages, and sooner or later maybe a good thing will happen, a turnover, a good break, and that'll turn the ball over.
This is a really big defensive series for Hastings because they do get the ball to start the second half. And the way this clock has been moving, this is going to be a time of possession kind of football game.
Right.
As Falcons will motion a receiver back out. Franck's going to hand it off to Johnson. Actually tucked it back into his hands at the last second. He's down the sideline, 50, 45, and then brought down by a Raider out of bounds. That's going to be Landon Johnson again, who knocks him out inside the Hastings 45. So that run-pass option that we've seen tonight fooled the Raiders there.
Yeah, Franck, a little bit of tomfoolery there. He just basically faked him out. And in the meantime, the receiver for Armstrong sealed the outside, so that gave Franck a lane to get out there on the sideline.
From the 42-yard line, they hand it off to Johnson. Johnson weaves his way through a couple of Raiders inside the 35 to about the 34-yard line, and about 8 yards on first down.
Jack Mosman just missed Johnson. He had him in the backfield, like 3 yards back in the backfield, and he went after his ankles. He just missed him, but that gave him enough momentum to get forward for another 7 yards.
2nd down and 3. Ball on the 35. 5.5 to go. Second quarter. Armstrong 7. Hastings nothing here. Franck in the shotgun. Motions a receiver from left to right with 2 on the near side of the formation. They hand it off to Johnson. Johnson toward the near side. Breaks a couple tackles. He is gone. Kevon Johnson is coming back. There's a holding penalty. Johnson's in the end zone, but this might be coming back. A flag came in at about the 20-yard line. This might be a hold. This might be an illegal block in the back. We'll see. Right now it's a 35-yard touchdown for Kevon Johnson.
Most likely it's a hold. Probably somebody out there, the receiving corps held so he could get through there and get that wide lane because he had a huge lane to run in for the touchdown. So they're placing the ball at the 23-yard line. It's a spot foul, so they'll move back 10 yards from the 23.
So they'll basically go right back to where they were.
Almost,
so
yeah.
It'll be 2nd and 5 instead of 2nd and 3.
Well, actually, because of the spot foul, now it's going to be 2nd and 1. So, because where it occurred, so now it's going to be 2nd and 1. So, still, they still have to get that first down, but it's a lot easier to do now when you got a 1 yard line to get to, or 1 yard to get to the first down marker.
Clearly, I am bad at math, but second down and 1
upcoming. Confusing, a little confusing. Yeah.
Franck in the shotgun for Armstrong with a new back in the backfield. They'll give it to him, and he is going to be gobbled up. And I don't know if he got it. We'll check the number on that ball carrier for Armstrong. That's number 8 for the Falcons. That's Wiley, and Wiley didn't get much of anything on that play.
Majetic and Boardman were in on that like ugly on a gorilla, man. They jumped on that thing. Yikes, they pounded him quickly. So that's a great thing. They lost 2 yards on that. 3rd and 2 now.
Yeah, so basically right back to where they were on the Johnson touchdown run. Johnson is back in the game now with 2 wides to the left, 1 to the right, a tight end in the formation, and Frank in the shotgun. With the running back, Johnson off to his left. Now a motion man from right to left for Armstrong. Frank looking, option toss out of the backfield to Johnson. He's got the first down by a couple of yards, but that's all he's going to get as a fracas breaks out as the whistle sounds, and now they go their separate ways.
Yep, a little bit of a scrum over there again. And so, and what I liked about that play defensively is that Hunter Hoff did his job. He's got responsibility for the quarterback. A lot of times those ends on the out there, they're going to go pick between the quarterback and the quarterback will cut back up because he's got a lane. He did his job. He just needs a little help from the outside linebacker to pick up that pitch man.
Frank in the shotgun. Johnson off to his left. 2 wides to either side of the formation for Armstrong, leading 7-0 with 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. If Raiders can keep this 7-0, I think they'll be happy, but they more so want to get the football back. Here's the snap. Frank under pressure, looks to throw deep down the field, and there is nobody home on that throw. Just was, he had a defender. Johnson had a step on the defender, but not the best throw from Frank, and as a result for Armstrong, it's 2nd down.
Well, and he was tossing it up there and hoping that his man would run underneath it, but Boardman slowed up the receiver just enough, kind of took him off stride, and that threw off the timing of the play, and then the ball just flew 10 yards harmlessly over his head.
So 2nd down and 10. You see Frank coming into the game tonight had a pretty good year so far. 434 yards, 5 TDs, 2 interceptions, but that's 61% completion percentage coming in. We mentioned at the top of the show, very accurate passer for Armstrong. Frank's going to hand it off. No, he keeps it himself again out of the backfield. Actually passes it. And the read option again, and this time it's a completion across the middle to Lucas Wadke once more, and another Falcon first.
Yeah, that's a great play, when you've got a slot receiver there inside, and he just made that pitch and catch. There's no one. The Raiders' defense, where they align, they're 10 yards back on the slot man, which, some say it's great, some say, but that worked out well for them, and that slot man and taking that quick slant.
So 1st and 10, ball on the 18-yard line. Motion man again from the near side for Armstrong. Frank is going to keep it. Frank turns the corner. He's to the 10. He's got a block to the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Armstrong. No flags. Dawson Frank by himself from 18 yards out to extend the lead for the Falcons.
Yeah, that was a great RPO there. He basically faked out a bunch of Raiders on the interior line. They bit on that fake, and he just got outside, and there was no one to contain him.
So it is 13-0 Armstrong here with 3:17 to go. Still time for the Raiders to get one back, and they do get the ball to start the second half. So a big series of events coming up for the Raiders, but that was huge for Armstrong because Dawson Frank punches it in, and the Falcons have the lead by 2 scores with just over 3 minutes to go here in the first half.
Yeah, you'll feel a bit of sense of urgency now at this point in the Raiders that last part of here, this first half.
Snap is good, hold is good, kick is good as well, and it is 14-0 Armstrong. 3:17 to go, second quarter. Those on radio. We'll be right back. Raiders down 14-0 here, needing a score before the break, knowing they get the ball back to start the second half. And they will have 3 back deep. Shattuck, who has, I believe, taken one back this year. Yeah. Vickney and Foss of the Matt variety standing back deep inside the 10. to field this kickoff. So we know Shattuck dangerous in the kick game. You have to wonder if maybe that was why they onside kicked it last time.
Well, I think they thought they could catch the Raiders sleeping, and so that play didn't work. Now the Raiders are regular receiving team here. Great 3 deep backs there, so we'll see what happens.
They will take this one deep. Shattuck's going to see it at the 10. He's going to pick it up there at the 15. Shattuck to the near side. Tries to break a tackle, and he will only gain 3 yards. That was a hard-earned 3 yards by Zach Shattuck, though, on the near side.
Once again, that's the thing that the receiving backs need to understand, is that you need to slash forward. You can't dancy pants around there going sideways. When you go lateral, you just give the defense that much more time to stay in their lanes, pursue, and shut you down. If you slice up the field, they can't get to you as quickly. So, that's a lesson you learn as a receiving back there.
Raiders will have the ball in the 19. Foss will line up under center, 10 on the line. Shattuck in the backfield with Foss waiting for the snap. Now they motion Birkin out. They'll hand it off to Shattuck, makes a defender miss, trying to cut back toward the far side and gets back to maybe the line of scrimmage.
Those plays, they seem like they're just taking too long to develop. I know they're trying to establish a run game, but maybe they should start throwing the ball a little bit. Get something going here. Get the defensive honest, so they're not pinning their ears back and coming in like that all the time.
That was a loss of a yard on that play, so 2nd down and 11 here for the Raiders. 2:40 to go. Hastings does have all 3 of their timeouts, and remember, they do get the ball to start the second half. If they can punch it in on this drive, get some momentum going into the halftime break. Foss under center, Shattuck in the backfield. Birkin moves in motion. Foss with a 5-step drop, off the pressure off the edge, and it is through the hands of Shattuck, through the hands of a Falcon, nearly intercepted but incomplete.
Yeah, that was close. I don't think the Armstrong player knew the ball was coming. It hit him right in the hands, and before he could realize that it was actually a football, he had already dropped it. A good design play, just the pass wasn't quite there, and that's kind of what happens when you don't, a little off target there on that pass.
So 2:18 left, 3rd and 11 upcoming here for the Raiders. Ball will remain on the 18-yard line. Foss will again line up under center. Everybody tucked up nicely on the line of scrimmage with Shattuck in the backfield standing on the 10. Now they will motion Vickney and Birkin to the near side. Foss hands it off out of the backfield to a receiver in motion. Looked like Birkin maybe got the handoff there.
You're correct. Yeah, Birkin got that. Promising play there, but then it shut down quickly again. The linebacking core for Armstrong is so quick. They recognize that and just shut it down. So now you've got 4th and long. You got to punt it away.
Yeah.
At this point, in short field, you cannot give them the opportunity. Punt it away, make them try to go as far as they can, and hope that the clock will be your friend.
We got a timeout on the field. We'll take one too on KDWA.
HCTV Sports is supported by Merchants Bank. Merchants Bank is committed to supporting the families and businesses at the heart of their communities. Merchants Bank, let's dream together.
Back on TV here as the Raiders will punt the football away. It's going to be Schmaltz who sends it high, deep, and it's going to roll inside the 50, inside the 45, and be down near the 41. We'll rejoin radio here in about 9 seconds, but the Raiders will take over on offense, or the Falcons rather will take over on offense there. So hang on just a second. We'll bring our radio folks back. Back here on KDWA Radio, the Raiders punt the football down to about the 41-ish of Armstrong. So pretty good field position for the Falcons here, and that's where they'll have it. And this is a big opportunity for the Raiders to get a big stop going into the halftime break.
Yeah, nice kick by Schmaltz. Once again, it's interesting because it leaves his foot. He doesn't have a whole lot of hang time, but he gets distance on it, and he gets some favorable rolls for the Raiders. So that, it almost hit one of the Armstrong players who wasn't watching. But, so they'll set up here on their 41-yard line, and the Raiders need a big stop here.
So 1st and 10 from the 41. 2 wides to either side for the Falcons. They'll hand it off to Johnson. Johnson will turn the corner, gain a couple, break a tackle, cross the 45 between the hashes on the big H to about the 46.
Pellinger and Boardman in on that tackle. Once again, you got to get down below his hips. They're trying to tackle him with the shoulder pads, and he gets an extra 4 yards because of that.
So that will be second down and about 4 here for the Falcons. Frank with a 4-step drop, just shovels it to Johnson, who's got a first down and then some inside the Hastings 45 to the 44, maybe the 43. That was a kind of a weird-looking pass, not meant to be derogatory in any way, just the way that it was thrown.
They took a page out of Hastings' book. Same thing, just kind of flooped it over the top and hit their running back.
Frank fakes the handoff, rolls off to the left, will fire sideline. Is a flag on the play, and they're going to say that was a catch for a first down.
Well, it may come back with the flag here. I bet it's going to come back.
I thought I saw the ball hit the ground nonetheless there, but
the side judge here is holding his line at the 44-yard line, so I think it's going to come back.
So we'll see what they say here. Ineligible man
Yep, same
downfield.
thing.
So that's the second time tonight Armstrong's had a big pass play negated by an ineligible man downfield penalty. And what is it? Your linemen cannot block more than 5 yards down the field, I believe.
Yeah, correct. They're in that box, and if they get too far down beyond that, and that play took time to develop, so the man was just driving his, defender down the field. But you got to stay in your box.
88 seconds to go, second quarter. 14-0 Armstrong. Ball just inside the 50 to the Hastings 49. With 3 wides to the right, 1 to the left. Frank's going to throw deep down the field, incomplete. And Foss was maybe a step and a half away from picking that ball off.
Oh, that was so close. I mean, there were a couple of guys that had a chance on that one, and Foss, I don't think he thought it was going to get to his level because he could have dove for it and possibly caught it. But nonetheless, we had a very good defensive coverage back there, and they really didn't have a man that was open. So great job for the Raiders.
So 2nd and 15, ball on the 49. Armstrong ahead, 14-0. Frank with trips to the near side. Hands it off to Johnson, makes a defender miss. Wide open hole to the 40, 35, breaks a tackle, 30. Wrestled down inside the 30, between the hashes of the 28.
Wow, that was a fantastic play. That was basically a fake pitch out to the right, which drew the defense to go out sideline, and then just a handoff back inside of Johnson. He plowed through there for a ton in that first down.
They will hand it off. This time Frank will keep it. He'll get across the 25 to about the 24 between the hashes. Yeah, we saw some pretty unique formations from Armstrong last year when we made the trip to Plymouth for that game. We're seeing it again here this year.
More the same. They really have a lot of different looks there, and it's really kind of confusing the Raiders right now.
2nd and 5, under a minute to go. Frank looks to throw. He's going to have his receiver near side now to the 20, to the 15, and down to about the 14-yard line on the near side. And now I think the Falcons will take a timeout with 43 seconds to go here in the first half, trying to go up 3 scores going into the halftime break.
Yeah, they're going to line up. Oh, now
it looks like Hastings takes the timeout. Is that Fritzy,
Yeah.
Coach Fritzy, walking all the way out there to talk to the defense? So,
well, and that's the thing. Armstrong set up real quickly there, so the Raiders had to take a timeout.
So let's step aside on radio. We'll be right back.
The Hastings Raider football team and Hastings Football Connections would like to thank Hastings Stuffed Foods and Camps for supplying milk for the varsity team dinner this week. Thank you, Camps and Club, for your support. The Hastings Raider football team and Hastings Football Connections
.43 seconds to go, second quarter. Armstrong 14, Hastings nothing. Falcons in the red zone. With the ball on the 14-yard line, Raiders need a big stop here before the end of the half. Frank in the shotgun, Johnson the setback. They'll give it to Johnson. Johnson has a block to the outside. He's inside the 10, cuts back to the 5, stays up at the 5, looks for the pylon, and he is in for a touchdown. A 14-yard run by Kevon Johnson again. Such a hard back to bring down. We know why he's over 1,000 yards on the season now, Jerry, and that's a big touchdown for Armstrong.
Well, and I mentioned earlier, his favorite lineman right now, he should go buy a mistake dinner, is, again, Luke Pappas. He just pancaked somebody on the way. Who was it? He got, oh, gosh. Who was
Boardman, it looked like.
Yeah, it was Boardman or Landon Johnson. Just put him flat on his back, and, what are you going to do?
So Armstrong on for the point after touchdown. Raiders do bring pressure, but it is through, and it is 21-0 Armstrong now with 33 seconds to go. So if you're the Raiders, Jerry, you got 2 timeouts. You do have a chance for 3, maybe 4 plays here before the halftime break to try to get something going into the half.
My guess is the Raiders are going to play conservative and just take a run and then take a kneel down. That's kind of been Dana's MO, not get too crazy here. It's a long field to go for a short time, so that's what I would guess he's going to do, is just play it safe, take a run inside. If it gets something great, if not, just let the clock run out.
So 33 seconds left, 2 timeouts left for the Raiders. But they need 3 touchdowns to get back into this. Defense was holding up nicely early in the game, but Armstrong here in the second quarter has gotten their offense going once again after a 3-play scoring drive to start.
Well, they have so many different looks, Armstrong. They're just coming at you from so many different angles. They got different alignments offensively and just different plays that are really confusing the Raiders. And they're just rolling right now as far as their offensive looks. And so the Raiders are trying to scratch their head and go, how do we stop this freight train?
So 33 seconds left, as we said. It's going to be Vickney, Shattuck, and Foss in that order from right to left, or left to right, rather, to retrieve the kickoff for the Raiders. Armstrong will send it deep over the head of Foss. That's going to go into the end zone for a touchback, so the Raiders will take it at the 20.
Very interesting there, and again, it's some gamesmanship. So the Raiders were lying deep on the previous kick, and they kicked it in front of them. So now this time the Raiders moved up thinking that's about his distance, and then the kicker put it over its head and put it in the end zone for a touchback. They've got a lot of different things they can do, a lot of skill there on that team, and the Raiders they definitely have their challenge here now.
Yeah, and we'll see what the Raiders can do before the half here. With 80 yards, 33 seconds to try to get there with 2 timeouts. And we'll see what kind of offense we'll get from Hastings here to end the first half. Foss is going to line up under center. And they're going to hand it off to Shattuck. Shattuck trying to break one tackle, but he's going to be brought down by the ankles as he crosses the 20 to about the 22-yard line. Boy, if he had broken that tackle, that was going to be a big gain.
Yep. And that's the example I use when we're talking about the Raiders tackling. You saw Shattuck, he could have gone away, but the Armstrong defender had him by the ankle. You can't run away when you got guys by the feet. That's what we need to do to Johnson on the other side.
Well, that'll be the last play of the first half. And after one half of play, it is Robbinsdale Armstrong 21, Hastings nothing here at the halftime break. And for those on radio, we're going to step aside and be right back with our halftime coverage. We'll keep it here momentarily on HCTV. And for those watching on TV, here's a look back at our scoring recaps from the first half. This is the first one, the Johnson touchdown. That made it 7-0 Armstrong. Raiders are going on an 8-minute drive after that, but couldn't punch it in. Here's the second one. It's a run to the left, and that left side's been where Armstrong's had a ton of success tonight. Franck punches it in there to make it a 14-0 game, and then just moments ago, it was the handoff to Johnson, the big block from Pappas that sprung him loose, and that made it 21-0 Armstrong, and that's where we currently stand after one half of play here at Todd Field and McNamara Stadium. Marching band halftime show coming up, and stick around, we'll have second half coverage coming up.
But it doesn't bother me, cause I just love to explore. Interviewing owners and lending a hand. I love to assist for as long as they can stand.
With over 300 passionate educators, our dedication to student success has never been stronger. These educators are more than teachers.
Let's paint the picture.
They are mentors who ignite curiosity and inspire a lifelong passion for learning. Our schools provide real-world experiences through cutting-edge programs in engineering and environmental science. At Hastings, we take pride in our blend of rigorous academics and enriching arts and athletic programs. These programs nourish our students' educational journey, enhancing their creativity and discipline and fostering skills that resonate throughout their academic and personal lives. This is Hastings Public Schools, where we care, we empower, and we achieve. Students are at the heart of all we do.
Juice. It's showtime.
brings you Beetlejuice and Life.
warm-ups, and we are back on TV as well. Hastings and Robbinsdale Armstrong, 21-0 at the half. Trey Lauer, Jerry Rupp with you. We were just talking on the radio side. We'll mention it again, that this is kind of a must score for Hastings, we think, to start this second half.
Right, yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, they have to get some points out of this thing to kind of answer back and get some.
Boss fakes the handoff, rolls out. He's got Birkin in the flat, 40, 45, first down, 50, 45, breaks a tackle, Birkin, and the ball came out. Ball came out. Armstrong is signaling as if they have the football, and they do.
Oh, shoot.
Armstrong recovers the football on the 41-yard line, a back-breaking turnover for the Raiders.
That was the play that I was talking about, where you fake into the line and you get the defensive lineman to bite and you throw it out there to Birkin in the flat. Exactly. It's a beautifully designed play. He was fighting for every yard, and sometimes maybe it's just best to go down.
Our monitor's frozen, so we don't have a replay in front of us, but you might be able to see what happened on your TV screens for those watching on the TV side. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line now. Now the 41 as a result of that from the Armstrong 41. That was a big gain for the Raiders, negated by the turnover, and now the Falcons have the football with 10:44 to go here in the third quarter of action. 21-0 Armstrong with the lead. And Frank will line up in the shotgun. Johnson the setback to his right. And they will fake the handoff. Frank's going to take a deep shot. He's got a wide open receiver, and it's in and out of his hands, incomplete.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he had a man wide open. There's I guess a busted coverage there, and
yeah.
Wow, that man was wide open. There was no one around him. It was Jackson Wiley, and he just dropped it.
Eli Kemple.
Excuse me. Yeah, Eli Kemple was the one who dropped that ball.
Well, that was going to be a touchdown.
Yeah,
sure. He had 3 or 4 yards on the defender there.
Yep.
And a lucky break for the Raiders. 21-0 with 10:36 to go in the third quarter. Frank in the shotgun. That makes him just 3 of 9 passing on the night. So the Raiders have been pretty effective in the pass game so far. But it's been that run game for Armstrong that has given the Raiders fits. And they'll go back to Johnson here. Breaks one tackle. Gets out across the 40 to about the 43, where he'll be dropped on the far hash.
Pellinger just missed him. Boardman did not. Yeah, that was so close. Pellinger had him in the backfield, but he just spun. He kind of shook him off, kind of did a little hip shake, and Pellinger went flying off to the side, but Boardman was there to take him down.
Pellinger had that big blocked punt return for a touchdown last week in the win against Cretin-Durham Hall. 3rd and 8 here for Armstrong now, with 2 wides to either side of the formation. Johnson the setback to the right of Frank. Now a motion man to the near side for Armstrong as well. Frank going to roll off to the right. Here comes some pressure for the Raiders. It's going to be caught for a first down at the 40-yard line into Raider territory to about the 37. And Kemple gets one back after dropping the touchdown earlier.
Yeah, that was a nice rollout there by Frank. He just basically... he was rolling to his right. He's a right-handed quarterback, so it was a nice, easy throw out there. I'm watching on the monitor right here. Yeah, he had a man wide open, just a little crossing pattern. He was out there towards the outside flats, and a nice pickup by Armstrong.
Yeah, we did get our monitor back, so we do have replays. And Frank will line up in the shotgun again from the Raider 37, and they will hand the ball off to Johnson. Wide open hole, 30, 25, near side 20. Stutter steps at the 15, makes a defender miss. 15, 10, 5 into the end zone. Touchdown, Armstrong. Boy, oh boy.
Whew.
Kevon Johnson is a playmaker.
He really is. I mean, like we said, coming in, he's had 15 touchdowns, which was second in the state. What's he got now, 2 or 3 tonight?
That, I think, is his third.
His third. So now he has 18 touchdowns on the season. And his average is going to, yards per game, we're at a 192 going in. He's going to get all of that plus more, I'm guessing, in this game as well, because he's just eating the Gophers. Come on. The Raiders. He's eating the Raiders alive. You got me going on the Gophers now.
I'm sorry, man. Well, came into the night with 961 yards, got over 1,000 yards on the first play from scrimmage, and has well over that now tonight, as the Raiders have a 28-point hole to work out of here in the third quarter. We're going to step aside on radio. We'll be right back.
change there to have him up in that middle back there.
28-0 Armstrong over Hastings. You're listening to KDWA Hastings AM 1460, FM translator 97.7, W249DK. For those listening on radio, for those watching on TV, you probably have no idea what I just did. But Armstrong is set to kick off, and this is going to be Foss taking it on the 10-yard line to the 15-20, near side, 25-30, has a block, 35, breaking down the field to the 40, to about the 41. That, my friend, is called the FCC 10-second station identification there. But,
exactly. Oh, no, another flag.
Flag down on the play.
More laundry that's going to be against the Raiders. They're going to be brought back again after a great return, and that's, Foss got that ball, and he attacked.
Oh, it's on Armstrong.
Oh, my. Once again. What are they doing over there?
That's an unsportsmanlike. Usually when that flag came out, that's in the vicinity of,
right.
of a block in the back.
Exactly, block in the back or maybe a delayed hold back here. But, yeah, Armstrong must be getting a little feisty down there, and they're running their mouth, I bet you, because I didn't see anything that was like any kind of guys getting tied up together, any kind of scuffles or anything. So there must be jawing a little bit, and the officials are having none of it.
So the Raiders will get the ball on the Armstrong 45 as a result of that penalty. Plenty of time to get back in this football game, but you need 4 touchdowns to do so. And Lucas Foss will line up under center. Trips to the right of the formation. Hand off to Shattuck, and Shattuck is thrown backwards for a loss.
Yeah, I think that play should be probably put back in the playbook, tucked away, and then we'll bring it out next week. That's just not working. They're too fast. And again, the outside linebacker came off the edge there, and he was there before. I mean, he beat the lineman to get to the ball, and he just took down Shattuck before he even had a chance.
So 2nd down and 14 from the 49-yard line as a result of that loss. And again, the Raiders, who've been under center the whole game, been under center pretty much consistently the last 3 or 4 weeks. And now Lucas Foss will be there with Shattuck, the setback. And Shattuck has kind of taken the load as RB1 with all the injuries. Here's a pass complete to Matthew Foss.
There you go.
Down the middle of the field, inside the 40 to about the 38 or 39. And as we heard during halftime on the radio, Raiders are without 2 running backs tonight, Cole Zion and Luke Hoffman. So Shattuck's had to carry the load, but that was a nice pass play there by Lucas Foss.
Foss to Foss, that was a very nice play there, and it got him some yardage there. Now you got 3rd and relatively short. That's the kind of thing you need to do. You need to start throwing the ball downfield. Take advantage of the aggressive defense of Armstrong and get it past that first line of defense out into your receivers in that mid-range distance.
One of my favorite calls I had last year was the square root of Foss's 6. So Lucas Foss under center, hands it off to Shattuck. Shattuck with a little bit of a lane, crosses the 40 to about the 35-yard line.
Very close. He could be just a titch short. But I tell you what, Shattuck, I'm impressed there with his leg drive on that one, because he was hit about 3 yards prior, and he just used his legs to drive. Raiders now 4th and short. They need to pop this one through to get another new set of downs.
Raiders had a promising-looking drive last time, ended up turning the football over. They'll have 4th and short this time to try to keep the drive alive here. So we've had a turnover, hopefully not a turnover on downs. Foss will line up under center. Everybody bunched up on the line again. Hand off Shattuck. Shattuck's got the 1st down, breaks a tackle inside the 30 to about the 29, and moves the sticks for a Hastings 1st down.
Nifty piece of running there by Shattuck. He picked his way through. He had a couple of potential tacklers, but he just kind of wiggled around them and got enough for the 1st down. So it's nice to get a fresh set of downs. Raiders now sitting on the Armstrong 30-yard line. So we got a little bit of positivity going here. We need to keep it going.
1st and 10, ball on the 30. Raiders down 28. But trying to get on the scoreboard and get some momentum as a big matchup here at this field 6 days from now. Foss under center is going to hand it off to Shattuck again. Shattuck finds a lane, spins down near the 25 between the hashes. So a short gain on 1st down.
Yep, that's good. Again, you're moving the ball a bit. We'll take 3 yards on 1st down. And Shattuck has to get off his tackles. If he's inside, it's between the tackles, forget it. They're just too quick inside. But if he can get the tackle or between the tackle and the tight end, that's where he wants to be for his lane to run.
2nd and 6, 26-yard line. Raiders down 28-0 here in the 3rd quarter. Lucas Foss under center. Foss motions all the receivers around. Little Chinese fire drill, if you will. Foss will toss it out of the backfield, and they blow the play dead as they toss it to Shattuck. That was, I think that might have been an illegal formation for the Raiders.
Yep. False start on the Raiders there, yep.
Probably had 5 men in the backfield, I would think there.
Yeah, maybe. I didn't have my abacus ready there, but yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, there's 5 there.
2nd down and 11 now as a result of the penalty. Raiders have found a little bit of something in the run game so far here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, they're getting some positivity there in that run game. But again, I still think you need a good mix of passing in there to keep them honest up front.
2nd and 11 from the 31-yard line. Foss under center with a bunch receiver set to the right side of the formation. Now they'll motion out Birkin. Pressure right off the edge on the blind side. It's tipped out of the air and intercepted. It is picked off at the 30-yard line. That was Fred Dasson, and Dasson is still up, and he is gone. Fred Dasson down the sideline. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Armstrong.
Ouch.
What a play.
Ouch.
And the Falcons pouring it on here in the 3rd quarter.
That play there, that little screen pass, up the middle there.
Oh, we got like 6 flags down now, too. Sorry to interrupt you there, Jerry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That little screen pass that the Raiders have been doing, it went to the well one too many times with that, and Armstrong, diagnosed that one quite easily. Let's see what all the laundry was about.
So that was picked off by Dasson. Dasson was kind of up in traffic. That's going to be a sideline warning, I believe, against Armstrong, the call.
Okay.
But for those on TV, we'll look at a replay. Those on radio, we'll describe it to you. But Foss threw it into traffic. He had pressure on the blind side. Really had nothing else to do with it and just had to get rid of it.
Yep.
And tossed it off to Dasson, or it was picked off in traffic by Dasson. And then I thought Dasson was down at about the 40-yard line. Somehow he stays up, and he takes off running down the left hash, down the sideline and into the end zone.
Yeah.
And that was a back-breaking touchdown. The Raiders now need one here in the 3rd to prevent running time in the 4th.
Exactly. And they're going to really have to open it up now.
Kick on the way. It is good. And with 5:36 to go in the 3rd quarter, it is 35-0 Robbinsdale Armstrong. We're going to step aside on radio. Those on TV will keep it here. And those on TV can see the interception here in traffic. Dasson read it beautifully, just picked it off. And this is where I thought he was down. But somehow he manages to stay up. They were tackling the wrong player, it looked like.
Yeah, I agree.
And Dasson just took off, and he just outran everybody to the end zone, and that makes it 35-0 Robbinsdale Armstrong here in the 3rd quarter. So Raiders have to get one back.
Now, after that interception, there was kind of just a student body left. They all just took off running, and he had a whole train there with them. So they did a great job returning that ball. Yeah. Like you say, the Raiders now, they really need something.
Yeah, we're back on KDWA Radio. 35-0 Robbinsdale Armstrong over Hastings. Don't forget, we're not done with football. Coach Dana Strain will join us on the Coaches Show tomorrow morning at 9:05 to recap this game. And then after that at 11 a.m., we got Prescott football against Amory in their homecoming game. Cardinals looking to go to 7-0 as they're off to their best start in 24 years. So we'll have that one for you tomorrow on KDWA Radio. Here's a kickoff picked up by Birkin at the 20-yard line. Birkin has a lane near side. There he goes. 40, 45, 50. Grant Birkin, see you later. And it's a land-grant touchdown for the Raiders.
Ooh, boy, was that exciting. Birkin kind of bobbled the ball as it came to him. And like we said in the first half, things like that can happen where things can go just totally crazy, where the defense, or in this case the kicking team, let up for just a split second. Birkin found just a little bit of seam. That dude's got some speed. He had one man to beat. He got outside. There was nobody catching him. He was just coast to coast. Get on it.
Once he beat that first block and took off down the near side, he was pretty much already gone. A well-read kickoff return for a touchdown by the Raiders. They get one back. They have a huge mountain to climb at 35-6 with the extra point by Rova Hegner upcoming. But a little bit of momentum for the Raiders here.
That was nice. That's what they needed to get back, try to start climbing back into this game.
So Rova Hegner, Lundstrom the snapper, the holder
Oh, gosh.
for the Raiders is number 8, but the kick is no good.
It's just one of those things that the Raiders just having a hard time getting any kind of luck tonight. They're just, unfortunately, I don't know what happened there. He just pulled it to the left.
Yeah, you heard Coach Strain on our pregame show on the radio talking about the operation. Lundstrom, Esterby, the holder, and Rova Hegner, the kicker. And they really had it all together there on that kick against Cretin-Durham Hall last Friday. That one is no good, unfortunately, though, and it's 35-6 with 5:23 to go here in the third quarter. But the Raiders get one back on this kickoff return touchdown from Grant Birkin and have a chance to get a stop here and just get a little bit closer. Still, like we said, still have a mountain to climb, but you still have 17 minutes and 23 seconds of football left to try to get back into this game.
Well, it's like a shot of adrenaline in the arm of the Raiders. Now you're feeling, okay, good, we got something here. Now Armstrong is looking for an onside kick. They're lined up at the 50 there. They're thinking Raiders are going to go onside kick. I don't think they'll go just yet with that, but they're sure ready in case something does happen like that.
Boy, it'd be a statement, though, to do it and get it. We saw Armstrong try that earlier in the game when they went up 7-0.
Mm-hmm.
Rova Hegner has it teed up on the 40. Everybody's waiting for the ready for play from the official. Hand up in the air by Rova Hegner, and they will onside kick it, and it's going to be popped up into the air, loose, still loose, and the Raiders are on top of it. It's going to count. It goes all the way back to the 35 where they kicked it off, but it hit an Armstrong player and kind of went all the way back to the 35-yard line, and as a result, the Raiders recover an onside kick in one of the weirdest hops you'll ever see.
Oh, my goodness. How about that? So I guess I got to take the foot out of my mouth on that one. I'm not for sure they wouldn't do it. But, boy, that was – he got the ball at 10 yards, and the Armstrong guy went after it. He just bounced off his shoulder pad. So there goes in negative yards, but the Raiders got the ball, more importantly, and they kept Armstrong's offense off the field.
That was a negative 4-yard onside kick recovery.
Don't matter.
For the Hastings Raiders.
It's in our possession.
That's one way to do it right there.
Heck yeah, that's the way to do it.
They'll have the ball on the 34-yard line. Foss under center with a 35-6 lead, and the Raiders have the ball back as a result of the onsides. They hand it off to Birkin again. Birkin has a defender. Miss across the 40 to about the 42. Nice gain for Grant Birkin, who's come alive here in the third quarter.
And I'm happy for Birkin, because he had that long play over there on the far sideline, and then they stripped him of the ball at the very end and got the fumble. So to see him get a couple good plays here now to kind of get his confidence back and kind of re-earn a little bit of pride there. He lost his helmet on that one, so he has to come off for a play. So Boardman comes in his place. We'll see. I'm interested to see what Boardman can do on offense.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see how all that plays out. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Foss gets the play from the sideline. And for the Raiders, this is a big opportunity to get some momentum with a short week ahead. St. Thomas Academy here on Thursday at Todd Field. They'll hand the football off again to Shattuck. And Shattuck will get to the 42-yard line between the hashes.
Yeah, pretty much no gain on that one.
Yeah, there's been very little running room for the Raiders so far tonight. Definitely have more yards than they had at halftime, though. But it's just been tough sledding in the run game for the Raiders, who did pretty much what they did last week against Cretin-Durham Hall to start the game. They went on a 9-minute drive to start last week, went on an 8-minute drive to start this week, but they were already down when they got the ball tonight.
Yep, indeed. They were playing catch-up from the get-go.
Foss under center. 10 up on the line. Shattuck in the backfield. Armstrong loads the box. They hand it off to Shattuck. Shattuck with a lane. Cuts back across the 45. Out near the 47 and moves the chains for a Raider first down.
Worked well for the Raiders on that play because a little bit of delayed handoff, and they took advantage of the over pursuit of the Armstrong defensive interior lineman. They just ran right past the handoff, and so that gave Shattuck enough room to get out there and get that first down and get a fresh set.
So 1st and 10 from the Raider 46. And a 35-6 lead for an undefeated Robbinsdale Armstrong team who, depending on what poll you look at, is ranked in either the top 10 or top 15 in the state. Foss under center. Fumbles the football on the snap. Looked like he ran into a player, but he's able to get back on top of it. And that will make this a 2nd down and about 14.
Yep, just a little mishandle of the snap there in the exchange. He pulled back before he had the ball in his hands, and he just kind of flopped up in the air there for a second, but he wisely fell on it and lost a little bit of yards, but at least, more importantly, we kept possession of the ball.
Got a favorable spot there. It's only a 2-yard loss on the play. So
Yep.
2nd down and 12 here for the Raiders with under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. That return touchdown was huge because it prevents running time in the fourth quarter, at least as of this moment. Foss will fake the handoff. He'll roll off to the right. He's got a wide open man. His brother Matthew tries to moss the defender, and the pass is incomplete, and Foss is down on the turf.
Wow, that was so close. I mean, he had to kind of chuck because he was running backwards, so it was tough to make a throw like that when you're on the run running backwards. But he gave his best. He threw it out as far as he could, and the ball was on the right trajectory, but it was just floated just enough to give the defensive back from Armstrong a chance to get back into play. Young Foss went after it, went up for it, and he kind of, I think he just got – he's up and moving now, so that's good. Kind of a little bit, and I think in the rump is where he got it. He was kind of grabbing his backside there. But now he's up moving around, so has come off for a play. Let's see if he can shake that off and get back in that offense.
Yeah, he had a couple of monster catches in the come-from-behind win against Cretin-Durham Hall last week. Again, that was a game the Raiders led 20-6, went down 28-20 with 6 minutes to go, tied it up. Foss had a huge touchdown catch and a huge two-point conversion to help with that victory there. And as he walks off the field talking to the athletic trainer, Jill Contreras, the Raiders will have a 3rd and 12 here with 2:40 to go in the third quarter.
I'd like to see Dr. Peter Schill out there with them also, just providing that medical support for Contreras.
So 3rd and 12 for the Raiders. Foss will line up under center, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Shattuck in the backfield, Birkin the tight end. Foss, 3-step drop, under pressure, and he's going to be sacked and sent to Rosemount with a loss.
Ouch. Yep, that hurt. That was a big one. That was just kind of a fire sale there with Armstrong. Everybody was coming. Let's meet at the quarterback and have a party, and that's exactly what they did.
Armstrong brought the house on that one, and it will be 4th down now and forever, and the Raiders will have to punt.
Yep.
After recovering the onside kick, a chance to get a little closer in this game, and the Raiders come up empty.
Yeah, we had some positivity there, and then we went backwards a few plays, and guess what? After all that, that's where the ball started.
Yeah, right back where it was.
Yeah.
So Schmaltz standing on his 24-yard line to punt this one away for the Raiders with 1:58 to go here in the third. Good snap. And this is a pretty good punt by Schmaltz. It bounces and then takes a Robbinsdale Armstrong bounce to the 42. And that's where the Raiders will down it. We'll be back in 40 seconds on KDWA.
HCTV Sports is supported by Merchants Bank. Merchants Bank is committed to supporting the families and businesses at the heart of their communities. Merchants Bank, let's dream together.
And on TV, 1st and 10 coming up here for Armstrong. First and 10 for Armstrong. Frank will throw out of the backfield to Pharrell DeLine. And DeLine will pick up a good chunk on 1st down to the near side for the Falcons.
Nice pitching catch there. Just leaned out to his outside to the flats on the right and just made a nice, easy catch out there.
So gain of 8 on that play. 2nd and 2 from the 48-yard line for the Falcons, leading 35-6 here late in the third quarter. Frank looks to throw, deep shot, one-on-one coverage, overthrows the receiver by a couple of yards, looking for DeLine down the near side.
No chance on that. Shattuck was with them all the way. He had inside line on that ball. There was no way that the Armstrong receiver was going to have a chance at that. So good job by Shady. Great, excellent coverage.
Yeah, so 3rd down now for the Raiders, a chance to get off the field here perhaps, with a 3rd and 2 upcoming from the 48-yard line, 1:09 left in this third quarter. But Armstrong ahead 35-6, a 29-point lead here. Frank options it to the left, has a lane, has a 1st down, breaks a couple tackles, 35, inside the 30 to about the 27, so a big gain for Frank on 3rd down. Moves the chains again for the Falcons. And he's a little slow to get up here.
Yep.
He looks all right. Just needed a second to gather his bearings.
They had a chance to get him right at the 1st down marker, but he just kind of shook a tackle, and then he had a couple blockers out front of him to help him out and, got an extra 20 yards on that one.
Clock is running here towards the end of the third. Johnson, who hasn't had to do a whole lot here in the third quarter, other than the one long touchdown run, is going to get the call here. We have a helmet come off for a Raider. It looks like Barrett Boardman's helmet says goodnight. And Johnson with a nice gain. And again, like we said, haven't really had to use him a whole lot in the third quarter if you're Armstrong, but he did have that one long touchdown.
Right, exactly, you know, and the 3 touchdown night is pretty good in and of itself, you know, but you're right, between Frank and a couple throws that he makes out, DeLine made that one catch, and they're just kind of spreading the wealth a little bit.
One Raider hopping off the field here on 2nd down and 5. Split receiver look, 2 to each side, single back shotgun for Dawson Frank, the quarterback for Robbinsdale Armstrong.
Let the clock run out, I bet.
Yeah, that will be the end of the third quarter. So Hastings going to need a Herculean effort in the fourth quarter to come back and win this one. After 3 quarters of action, it's Robbinsdale Armstrong 35, Hastings 6.
How can I help you today?
I don't think I'm in the right place. I have big dreams, like crab brewery-sized dreams.
I like it.
Your bank is very,
Cozy?
yes.
Yeah, I know what you mean. We prefer more personal interactions. We dedicate the majority of our space to our customers' dreams.
Wow. Look at that.
I know, it never gets old.
Wow, this is way bigger than your office.
Start of the fourth quarter here. 2nd and 5 for Armstrong. Frank rolls off to the near side, looks to throw into the back corner of the end zone, and it is going to be incomplete, but there's going to be pass interference against the Raiders.
Yep, clear pass interference. Our guy was totally out of position, and he just didn't know where the ball was and tried to basically face guard the receiver for Armstrong. So classic textbook pass interference.
Now, the rule in the NFL, and I believe inside the 20 in college, is the ball goes to the 2, but I don't believe that's... Oh, it's on Armstrong! They call an ineligible receiver downfield and pass interference.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be offsetting penalties,
wow,
and they'll replay the down.
Raiders got a break on that one. Wow, that's amazing.
So the pass interference does get called, but they also call ineligible receiver downfield. That's the 3rd time tonight that's happened for Armstrong. So they might want to look at that on tape.
Seriously, their linemen are just getting too far downfield.
2nd and 5. Frank hands it off to Johnson. Wide open hole, 10, 5, touchdown. It's a 4-touchdown night for Kevon Johnson. It's 41-6, and the running clock is going to happen here now in the fourth quarter.
And I would have to say it's kind of a mercy thing for the Raiders. You know, it's tough to take, but at this point, you just want to get this thing over with. You know, it's just been a beatdown in every phase. Like Dana had said earlier, we need to do well in all 3 phases of the game, and you know, 2 of the 3 just have been deficient this night out here.
I'll be very interested to see what Coach Drain has to say when we record the coaches show here after the game. Extra Point is good, and don't forget you can listen to the KDWA Hastings Coaches Show every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. We typically also have a Prescott show at noon, but we won't this week because their game is happening at that time.
That's going to be an exciting day tomorrow for Prescott. Again, you know, that's having that kind of atmosphere on a Saturday afternoon. It's going to be a nice warm afternoon, so it won't be too cold, blustery. It's going to be an awesome day for Prescott.
Yeah, and it's homecoming for them, and they are undefeated, 6-0. A team that, you know, had a look at the playoffs, sniffed it a little bit for them last year, started the year out so great, but ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw at the end of the year. But they had a tough road trip last week against a really good St. Croix Central team, and they took it to them. 39-20, the final there. That's a game that they had to win.
Yeah.
And they're 6-0 now. They're guaranteed a winning record on the season. And, we'll get a chance to see them tomorrow on the radio side. We'll have a radio and video on KDWA. Video pregame starts at 10:45. Radio coverage around 10:55, 10:57 or so at the conclusion of the shopping show on KDWA radio tomorrow morning. So going to be a fun day with myself and my Prescott partner, Matt Liefeld, out there tomorrow. And then Thursday night next week, we've got St. Thomas Academy in the house against the Raiders. You won't be here, but
Nope.
I'll have Matt Larson with me next week to get the coverage of that going, and we'll be partnering with HCTV for that again as well. So a lot of great football coming up here. Raiders soccer finds out its section fate this weekend as well, as this is going to be a kickoff. It's going to roll into the end zone for a touchback. Marlo Strain will just let that one go into the end zone.
Wisely.
Raiders soccer is going to have an interesting situation to figure out where they're playing. We think the girls are going to have a home game. We hope the boys do as well.
That'll be nice to get a home game for them. It's always nice to have some home cooking.
Yeah, girls went undefeated in the section, 5-0.
Wow,
so
that's fantastic.
They should have a home section game. So, unfortunately, it doesn't look likely that the boys get a home game. But crazier things have happened. We'll see. But girls for sure will likely have a home section game.
Hey, you got a field, you got a chance. Go for it, right?
Yeah. So Lucas Foss under center for the Raiders here as the clock will run. And oh boy, somebody got a head start.
I think our man missed the snap count on that one. He went on one and it was supposed to be on two.
So 11:44 to go here in the ball game. And we should, as soon as the play starts here, should have running time.
Yep.
As it is a 36-point ball game, and the rule is 35 in the fourth.
Correct. Now the change of possession here. Now,
Yeah.
now we'll get going once this gets our first play here.
So Foss under center. Foss will fake the handoff to Shattuck, gives it off to Birkin, and Birkin will get out between the hashes to the 20. So this one's unfortunately looking like it's not going to go the way the Raiders wanted it to tonight, but they do get a team and a game that I know they've had circled next week. St. Thomas Academy here on Thursday night, back at the 6:30 start. And that's a St. Thomas Academy team that's not scoring a ton of points.
Yeah, they aren't your daddy's St. Thomas team like we've seen in past years where they've just been wrecking machines. They have some weaknesses, and Raiders hopefully can find a way to exploit some of those.
And this Robbinsdale Armstrong team beat St. Thomas Academy as well.
Right.
So it's a familiar opponent for both of these squads. As Shattuck takes off to the near side on second down, gets to about the 24-yard line, so gain about 3 on that play. St. Thomas Academy, if you look at their schedule for the most part, 17 points, 20 points, 21 points. They do have an outlier, though. They beat Matamidi 52-7.
Yeah, well, there is that. But, it's, like I said, St. Thomas isn't the scoring juggernaut that they used to be. They might be just a little bit down on the offensive side this year, but nonetheless, they are always a well-coached team.
Well, and that's definitely a big game of opportunity for the Raiders next week, but we'll see what kind of momentum they can get here in this fourth quarter going into that one. As on 3rd and 5, they hand it off to Shattuck. Shattuck breaks a tackle, has a lane, and he will fight past the marker to about the 32, maybe the 33-yard line. And Robbinsdale Armstrong thought they had him stopped, but he had a nice second effort there to move the chains.
Keep his legs going. That's what you need to do as a running back. Just keep it churning there, and good things will happen. And that's exactly what he did there. Got enough for the first down, move those sticks, and like you say, game like this, you lick your wounds, you go back, you look at film, you see what you did wrong, what you maybe did right, some things we can improve upon, and set your sights for next week.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line as the Raiders will just try to use this fourth quarter perhaps as a practice session just to try to see what they can do for next week. Foss under center, everybody tucked up nicely on the line. Rolls out to throw with the fake handoff. He's got Birkin in the flat at the 35 to the 40, 45. Birkin trying to fight his way forward, thrown out of bounds at the 47. And the clock won't stop because we are in running time. He was thrown out of bounds, which normally does stop the clock.
I tell you what, Birkin had that one fumble earlier, but he has really played a whale of a game tonight, and I've really been impressed with what he's done, not only with with the kick return, but just the catches he's making out in the flat and going for the extra yards. He's had a heck of a game. I mean, to me, he's the Raiders' player of the game.
Oh, absolutely. With the kickoff return touchdown, it probably would have had another big gain, or maybe even a touchdown on the one that ended up being knocked away from him.
Exactly.
But I don't even know if he just fumbled that or if it was just knocked loose.
He got it ripped.
Yeah, good defensive play.
Yep.
So 1st and 10 from the Hastings 47 here for Lucas Foss. He'll be under center. Trips to the left of the formation. Shot at the setback. Fumble on the play. Ball is loose. Foss is held onto, and Armstrong's got the football.
That's not what you want to see. Yep.
Probably should have been. I guess that was the legal play on Armstrong there, but Foss was tucked down by the jersey trying to make the play. But defensive holding maybe. I don't know if you can call that on a fumble or not.
I don't think you can. Once the ball is live like that, it's just a free-for-all. So, yeah, that's not – I mean, it's heads up by Armstrong. They grab him by the jersey and pull him back. That's legal.
Yeah. And so
kind
Armstrong,
of stinky, but that's the way – I mean, it's
yeah.
That's all's fair in love and fumbles.
So Armstrong will take over on the 36. 8 minutes to go here in the 4th. Raiders are going to drop, if this result holds, to a 3-3 record on the year. Their 3-game win streak's going to end. But, I don't know if Coach Strain is a believer in moral victories. Maybe I'll ask him that later. But, there's definitely some positives, I think, to take away from this, and that is that you have some really good playmakers defensively and in the run game. I'm sure that'll be areas they're going to want to shore up for next week.
Right, exactly. I agree with you 100%.
New quarterback in the game for Robbinsdale Armstrong. A new running back in the game as well. He gets the call right away and gets down to the 25. That is Ben Francis, number 33, who carries the ball. Jordan Wordlaw, number 26, is into the game at QB.
Well, I'll tell you what, at this point, I think they could put Elmer Fudd in there at running back and he get positive yardage. Their offensive line, look at the size of those guys out there. They're just monsters. They're just quite frankly, we're outsized on the defensive line compared to their offensive linemen. And that's the thing. It's just a size mismatch that the Raiders just couldn't answer tonight.
Yeah, so Armstrong, you can just see it right there.
Huge.
Just the size advantage that they have on that offensive line as Wordlaw hands it off again to the running back. And this time, a nice defensive play made there by the Raiders. That was number 6 for Hastings in on the stop. Fletcher Peterson, that's a wrestler, or comes from a wrestling family. So, he's used to wrapping people up.
I just watched that last play there. The center for Armstrong, I guarantee you he weighs 100 pounds more than Boardman. I mean, you look at the size of them. He just swallows Boardman up, and Boardman is a tough kid, but that guy he's got to go 280 at least, and Boardman's 200 maybe.
Yeah,
he's not that big. I mean, he's a tough kid, but he's 190, and the other guy's probably 290.
Most people don't talk enough about the battle in the trenches. That's where most football games are won and lost.
Right
in the trenches as they hand the football off again, thrown back by a couple of Raiders. Is Ben Francis, one of only a few sophomores on this team. I'd say there's maybe 9 or 10 total sophomores on this Armstrong team. It's a pretty senior and junior heavy roster.
Yeah, it is. I like that last play there, number 15, Mark Swoboda. That's a tough one to say. He was in on that stop too, so good to see him get some action.
3rd and 6 upcoming here for Armstrong. 5:45 remaining in the game. Falcons up 42-6 in Hastings territory after a fumble by the Raiders. Their third turnover of the night. That's also an area I think they're going to want to make sure they focus on.
Yep.
We know St. Thomas Academy is pretty good at getting the football back, so that'll be an area to focus on for next week. Hand off to Francis. Francis to the 10, and he will pick up the first down for Armstrong. And we are 5:20 in real time away from this game being over.
Bellinger was looking at his chops on that one. He came in on the outside. He thought he had something, and he just got clocked by the left or the right tackle and pushed him right outside the play.
Ball's on the 9 here, 1st and 9. And the Raiders will look to say 9 defensively.
Yeah. Yeah, weren't you throwing out some German earlier?
I took a little German in college. I know like 12 words.
Well, there you go.
But didn't really work out. I had to take 3 semesters of German, and
to
I
get
know
12 words
to get 12 words out of it.
And you know 9.
I know 9. Up the right side of the formation here and drop for a short gain on the play. That was number 32, Will Simpson.
Yeah, the Raiders right now are just trying to keep him out of the end zone with 4 minutes and 26 seconds left in this tilt.
Yeah, and again, you talk about momentum and getting momentum for next week. It would be a huge momentum. I know the score doesn't indicate it, but to get a defensive stand here, just get some energy in that defense.
Yep.
And what's a very, very opportunistic game next Thursday. Handoff to Francis inside the 5 to about the 4. Short gain on the play. It will be 3rd down upcoming.
Raiders are fighting hard. They're trying to keep them out of that end zone.
So 3rd and 7 becomes 3rd and 4. I misspoke there, sorry. 3rd and 4. 3 3/4 minutes left.
Okay, let's get real technical. 3rd and goal from the 4.
3rd and goal from the 4.
There we go. Like it matters. Just hold them out of the end zone, fellas.
Well, I got real technical there and I said 3 3/4 minutes to go. 3:45 left would be the more reasonable thing to say. Here's a handoff, and Francis to the near side is dropped for very minimal yardage on the play.
Well, that's good. The Raiders are still fighting. That's nice to see. Fletcher Peterson and Kyan Esterby on that tackle.
Yeah, 4th and goal upcoming here. This is like we said, with the scoreboard the way it is, any little thing to get momentum and get some confidence going into next week is huge, and this is a big opportunity for that here for the Raiders.
Yep, here we go. 4th and goal from the 4.
4th and 4. Wardlaw is the quarterback. Francis is the running back. They've got 2 wides to the near side, 1 to the right. Wardlaw rolls off to the right, looks to throw. He's under pressure, fires into the end zone through the hands of his receiver, incomplete. And the Raiders get a defensive stand, and they'll have time for 3 or 4 plays with the run time.
Yep, exactly. Well, nice job of the Raiders. Again, like you said, a moral victory there. They held their ground, and they did not allow Armstrong to get in the end zone. That was a nice 4th down pass. Just kind of went off the hands of the receiver there. He was open in the end zone, but good job for the Raiders. Held him, get the offense back on the field, and go from here.
Well, on a beautiful night in Hastings, folks finally got some jacket weather to look forward to here. It has not been the night the Raiders were hoping for on the field, but they've got a lot of excitement around this team still with a 3-2 record. They'll go to 3-3 on the year. And again, as we mentioned, a vulnerable St. Thomas Academy team next Thursday night here at Todd Field, and that's going to be a very entertaining matchup, we think. As a handoff here, Shattuck breaks a couple tackles. He got the carry in the end zone.
Well, and I tell you what, from watching this team as it progresses through the season, I'm actually happy that they're going to be 3-3 because the way those first 2 games went, I mean, I was kind of seriously questioning whether they're going to win a game at all, and to pull out the next 3 wins. I mean, I'm very, I'm happy that I was wrong there, that these guys came back and played real well. So 3-3 at this point, I think is really a success for them.
Well, we know Owatonna is really good. We know Two Rivers is legit this year.
Yep.
So those are 2 very good football teams, and we know Robbinsdale Armstrong is very good as well. Here's a handoff, Shattuck on the near side, and he'll be wrestled down. If you think about it, assuming Two Rivers and Owatonna win tonight, they have Minneapolis North and Mankato West respectively. If all 3 of those teams win, Hastings' 3 losses will be to teams with a combined record of 18-0.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Raiders' losses so far this season, I mean, it's just flat out, honestly, they got beat by better teams. That's just, you can't, there's no other way of cutting it. They didn't have this, that, bad break, this, whatever. They just got beat by better teams, and that's nothing to be sad about.
Right, absolutely. And they've won the games that they're supposed to win.
Right.
And that's important, and you're going to be 3-3 with 2 games to go in the year as another fumble on the play. And I think Robbinsdale Armstrong got it back. They did.
Yep.
And that will be the last play of the game.
Thank goodness.
The game will end on a fumble. Foss is slow to get up for the Raiders here.
I think he's just exhausted.
Yeah. But that's going to be how this one's going to end. Robbinsdale Armstrong is going to win this game by a final score of 42-6. They go to 6-0 on the year, 3-0 in the district. Raiders go to a 3-3 record on the year. They drop their first in-district game. They go to 2-1. And the Raiders will have, like we said, we talked about it a lot, a very opportunistic home game next Thursday night against the Cadets of St. Thomas Academy.
Yep.
With a chance to get that big 4th win and maybe clinch yourself a home section game with that potential there next Thursday. So that's a big one. The Raiders will turn their attention to that. But tonight, unfortunately, didn't go the way the Raiders wanted it to. Their only score coming on special teams from Grant Birkin. For those on TV, we're going to say goodbye. Producer, director, Hunter Pinky. I'm Trey Lauer. He's Jerry Rupp. Camera operators are Grant Seaman, Tori Selner, Ian Andrzak, and Max Slocum. Hunter Pinky also on graphics and replay. So for those of us on HCTV, we'll say goodnight. Stick around on KDWA. We'll have post-game coverage coming up.